Hey everyone, how's it going? It's That Nerd Ryan here, and today we're going to be doing our movie review. And as we always do once a month, we're going to be doing a Dragon Ball Z movie. So I decided to pump the brakes on going through everything and backtracking a little bit. I wasn't sure where I wanted to fit these in, since up until Super Broly, these were the only canon movies, which now one of them isn't even canon. But I figured, why not do History of Trunks right now? So we're going to go ahead, talk about that. I took my notes, so I'm going to be looking down. Sorry. But yeah, so this was a short one. It was 48 minutes long. It was more of a special than a movie. And you could see that because it does like the Dragon Ball cuts where like you get to a scene and then all of a sudden dun 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 dun. And it cuts and then it comes back dun 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 dun. And then it goes back to the scene. That happened like 3 times in this, so I think it was like supposed to be a 2-part episode, really. But it was still like movie standards nonetheless. It was pretty. We'll talk about like animation and script and stuff later, but it was a good quality special. So History of Trunks is supposed to be giving the backstory of like what future Trunks' history was, which like kind of showing, or not history, but what the future was supposed to look like if Goku were to die. And it's pretty abysmal and everything like that. We get basically 5 main characters in this. We get Trunks, Bulma, Gohan, and the 2 androids. Something that I didn't write on my notes that I want to talk about really quick because I've been thinking about it since I finished it, and I don't want to forget to mention it here because I tend to do that a lot. It's kind of weird how like strong these androids are, and like they kind of lead it as it's because Goku's gone, when in fact, when you think about it, Goku had little to do with that era of Dragon Ball because he was benched for the whole part. So it's like, part of me was thinking through the whole thing, wait, so if Goku was gone, the androids would have won, but Goku didn't really fight during the androids. Yes, Cell interrupted, but even on that, Gohan beat Cell. So, like, how did this play out? It was confused. It was a little confusing to justify. I mean, I get it. Cell wasn't factored in and everything like that. But, like, Piccolo stood his own against 17. And who knows, maybe Trunks just giving the warning was enough to make everybody strong enough to face the androids. I could be wrong. But yeah, so anyways, let's get into the movie description. So it starts with Gohan arriving at Goku's death, and immediately after, the androids attack a city that ends up killing everybody in the city. We get a time jump to like 10 to 15 years. It didn't really say. And the androids are terrorizing another city. Seems like that's all they do. What's interesting with that is, so in the 18-ish years that we cover in this special, the androids haven't destroyed the world yet. They've just kind of been casually destroying cities, which is kind of weird with them being unchecked that it's taking that long. But yeah, Trunks wants to fight back, but Bulma won't let him. And he kind of runs off anyways, and just misses the attack, but he runs into a adult Gohan. Gohan starts training Trunks on how to be Super Saiyan, but Trunks doesn't have that final push to become a Super Saiyan yet. He can't figure out like the anger that he needs, or the sadness or raw emotion that he needs to become a Super Saiyan. And as that training happens, the androids attack an amusement park, where we get to see Gohan go Super Saiyan and face off against the androids and everything. Trunks tries to step in once 18 tries to kind of mess with the fight. And this causes Gohan to be distracted, and they are badly beaten, and Gohan loses an arm. And at this point, there's only one senzu bean left. Trunks is barely hanging on, and Gohan's lost an arm. So Gohan does the right thing and gives it to Trunks and not himself. And Bulma, we get to a next scene, and Bulma admits that she knows that Trunks has been fighting. And Gohan makes, after this, there's more training, and another city is attacked. Gohan goes to fight the androids. Trunks wants to help, so Gohan goes, yeah, sure, and then knocks Trunks out, so he doesn't go into the fight, and Gohan makes his last stand. And in this, he dies, but that causes the raw emotion in Trunks for him to become Super Saiyan. At that, we skip 3 years later, and Bulma is building the time machine to go back in time. Trunks tries to stop them one last time, the androids one last time before going, and he's pretty much beaten. Not as bad as Gohan was, but he's beaten. And he decides that after Bulma saves him, that he will head back in time and help Goku. And that's where the special ends. So, in ranking this, I gave animation a 9 out of 10. Like I said, this is like movie quality, 90s movie quality Dragon Ball Z, which is great. The script is an 8 out of 10. I did feel that it did skip around a lot, but it was still a solid script. I would like to probably see more of Trunks' training and how he got his sword, because we never really see him get the sword. He just shows up with the sword in the final act. And then the story, I gave it 8 out of 10. There really weren't that high of stakes, because Trunks does mention in the main series that Gohan died. So you kind of are predicting on how it plays out, but still there's enough twists and turns to make it pretty fun. The characters, I gave a 9 out of 10. I mean, it's a classic. It's a very small cast, which is great. And they're it's classic Dragon Ball Z characters. I mean, Trunks, it's his old origin story. You got Bulma. You got an adult version of Gohan before we met the adult version of Gohan. And honestly, future Gohan, he's called, is better than the Gohan that we actually got up until Superheroes, which is kind of funny. Voice acting, I did have to give a 7 out of 10. There's a lot of overlapping, and not natural overlapping, if you know what I mean, where if people are arguing and they're cutting each other off. But there was points where somebody would be talking and then somebody cuts them off just randomly. It was the files were overlapping or something when they were redubbing it. Overall, the score is a 8.2 out of 10. It's pretty good. I liked it. Probably would watch it again, especially if I'm doing a Dragon Ball rewatch. I feel like I would actually watch that before the Android Saga, just to add a little spice to it. But yeah, so the next Dragon Ball Z movie that we'll be watching, or special, will be Bardock, father of Goku. And I think the next movie we're going to be watching next week will be Kingsman: The Golden Circle. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. Comment what you thought of History of Trunks. And make sure you guys have an amazing day. It's that Nerd Ryan telling you. Have an amazing day.